Hey everybody, welcome in. I'm Tammy, I'm the Siberian Wind, and I'm glad you're here. Welcome to another After Sunset Sunday. And we're gonna work on a different project tonight. And yes, I am crazy early, more than, well, almost 10 minutes early, so don't ever feel like you're late. I'm early. Hey Ellen, hey Janet, hey Susan, welcome in. Welcome, you guys. Glad you're here. Bear with me. Okay. Just making sure it wasn't an important message. So today we are going to work on temperature rings. You guys have not seen me work on temperature rings. And let me see. I do have one block that I can show you guys. It's been folded for a hot minute, so forgive me. But this is M1. So this is the very first block that I did. This is January. Hey, Linda, welcome in. So all of my data comes from 2024 here in Casper. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Judy. Welcome in. Yes, I did start early, guys. Don't hate me for it, okay? I did start early. So this is M1. If you have not bought temperature rings, it is still available, so you can still get it. Hey, Chloe. Hey, Lori. Oh, Lori's working on one she bought 5 years ago. I was working earlier on one that I started 10 years ago. So, so I'm going to lay this over here so you guys can continue to see it. Let me see where I can put it. There we go. That way you guys can still see it while I'm working and it's not in my way. Hey, Dorlyn, welcome in. Welcome in. We are going to sit and chat tonight. Now, I will go ahead and tell you, if I get distracted tonight, I have a lot going on. The upstairs neighbors have been loud all night, so if you guys can hear them, I'm sorry. There's not much I can do. There's nothing I can do at this point. They are just being very, very incredibly loud, and I'm hitting that noise pollution level that I can't control how loud they are, and I can't do anything to fix it. So I actually have music in, and I can't play it over the channel. Bear with me just a second. I had my Amazon device set up with an alarm to remind me to start my live. But that being said, I've hit that limit, and if I don't have music in my ears, literally, I still hear them. So it doesn't matter if I play it on my speakers. It doesn't matter. I still hear them. So I have music playing in my ears while I'm talking to you guys. And for those of you who've followed me for a while, you've probably heard me say I can't do music without words because it messes with my brain. So my music does have words in it. So you guys may get to hear some of, what I've got playing in the headset. I'm not going to sing. I promise I'm not going to sing, but I might mouth the words or I might say the words. So just saying. Chloe is working on a work in progress breakfast club designed by Pat Sloan. Oh, that'll be awesome. Ellen says that wedding ring block is pretty. It is. So the original wedding ring, the temperature rings quilt, is on the cover of the pattern. So if you buy the temperature rings pattern from me, because it's my design, if you buy it from me, this quilt is the entirety of the quilt. It looks more like that in person. So it looks very much like this. So the background color is like a tan or a beige. And then all of the colors, there's blue, green, yellow, and I believe orange or maybe red in the little centers between things. And then all of the arcs are browns and purples, and it's a darker quilt. It's a darker quilt, but it's darker because of the rings being darker. This is going to be an inverse. The rings are going to be bright and the background is dark. So, so if you have any questions about temperature rings, let me know because I can absolutely answer them. I've been looking for one for a while, and I came across one of these 10 drawer sorter things, And it works perfectly because I can put my pattern stuff. So all of my templates that I'm sewing on, these are freezer paper, not actual paper, just freezer paper. Hey Joan, welcome in. This next drawer is actually all of my cutoff pieces that aren't really big enough. They're not big enough to use in this pattern, but I might be able to put them together later. So I've saved them. And then spare freezer papers in there. And then the next 4 drawers are my 4 variable colors. And then after that are my rings. So the bags for these are in there. So it really does work out very, very nicely for it. So how are you guys doing? It is Sunday. Are you guys as glad about Sunday as I am? That, you know, we got through the week and the weekend and we're still in one piece. I know that's like, you know, major here, but we are still in one piece, which is amazing. I'm not sure that I would have said that earlier in the week, that I would get here in one piece. This week is reflections. Susan says she can't purchase anything until Wednesday after. Yes, I hear you on that. Hey Laura, welcome in. Welcome in. And Susan, I know the struggle. Believe me, I do. I am not immune to that at all. This pattern's been out for a year, just over a year. And I'm not taking my patterns down. So even if for any reason Patreon goes down or whatever, I'm gonna find you guys a copy. You know, I still have the digital copies, so you can still buy it directly from me. Whenever it suits you to be able to purchase it. So with temperature rings, I do all it is a workbook. It very much is a workbook. So you get pages for each month. Actually 2 per month. 2 months per page, sorry. You get 2 pages or 2 months per page, and you get to fill in all the details. Oh, it's only 8 p.m. I feel like it's midnight. Laura, you and me both. You and me both. Hey Mona, welcome in. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. I saw a couple of people earlier today. I don't remember what channels I popped into, but I was popping into channels this morning saying hi to people. I think Mona's one of the people I caught in one of the chats. I didn't chat in every chat that I popped into this morning. I didn't catch what's her name? Everett Our Time to Quilt. I didn't catch Teresa. I popped over to Teresa Louise's and gave her a thumbs up, and that was it. Oh, hey Pam. What time did I start? Like 10 minutes ago. I hopped on early. I had Susan and I know my brain is fried. Susan and Janet were both here chit-chatting, and I was like, you know what? They're gonna hang out and wait. I'll go ahead and come on early. So it is no worries. I definitely am here a little bit early. We're gonna probably still run till 10. I couldn't focus anyway. Just my neighbors. So for those of you who've not paper pieced before, this is paper piecing, but this is freezer paper piecing, so it's slightly different. So traditional paper piecing, this piece of paper would be folded out and I would sew directly on the line. Hey Stella, welcome in. So traditional paper piecing, I would sew through this line, and this is not traditional paper piecing, this is freezer paper piecing. So I am sewing right next to the line. So I've got my paper folded, and so if I peel it back right here, you guys are going to see that it's sticking to my freezer paper from the waxy substance that they put on freezer paper. And that's what I'm using. That's how it's holding together. Now, if your freezer paper starts to get a little sketchy, like a little on the not sticky side, you can always pin it as you're going, should you need to. So I haven't worked on this publicly in a really long time. I haven't shown you guys any work on this, so I figured it was about time. All right, so what I did over at the iron is I folded this green piece back. That is my wind speed for the day. There's lint. So I folded it back and I pressed, so now it's stuck to my freezer paper. So here's what I'm doing, and this is up to you if you were doing temperature rings, how you do it, but I just go ahead and rough trim. These are all going to go into my AccuQuilt cutter at the end of this, so I can cut them all exactly the right size. However, you don't necessarily have to have the AccuQuilt cutter. All the templates are in the book, in the pattern. So when you get done putting this together, then you can take the template, and I would cut it out of like acrylic or something, or see if there's a place near you locally that'll cut out like a rotary cutting size, template that you can use. And you're just gonna lay it on top of this and cut it out, and it's gonna have a little notch on the top and on the bottom to help you line everything up when you're piecing it later. It's fantastic. So the AccuQuilt is what I'm going to be using to cut mine later. I'm not worried about cutting them right now. I don't worry about cutting them until I am to the point of ready to assemble the block. So what I do after I have pressed that in place, so it's stuck to my freezer paper, I'm going to take my add a quarter ruler, lay it up against there, and I'm going to trim away the extra. So you guys should be able to see that. It's not as clear because that camera is a lot farther away. But that is what I'm doing. I'm just trimming away the extra. And I could go ahead and worry about this little bit that's down here, this little red extra. I'm not. There's no need to because it's going to trim away later. So there's no rush. So Chloe's working on a old whip, and Susan was machine quilting as of earlier. Laura's tired, and where was the other one? Who was it? Lori is working on a quilt kit she bought 5 years ago. Okay, so now I gotta know, what does your quilt kit look like? What is it? What colors are you using at least? Because you guys see what colors I'm using. I'm using bright colors. And all of my little cornerstones are going to be these purple cornerstones. And then all of the outside edges are this mottled purple. And this block has been folded for a good hot minute. So, it needs a little bit of a press, but it will be just fine. All right. So I'm working on the 17th of February, 2024. My low temperature for the day was -3. And according to my chart, -3 falls into the F24 bag. So all I have to do is go over here, find my drawer, and find my F24 bag, which is what this is. Let me go ahead and see what the next day was. Oh, it was 15 the following day. So that's going to go to 26. So I'll pull that out later. Actually, I'll go and pull it out now just to set it aside. I've still got to pull out my red, which is my high temperature for the day. But, I'll get there. All right, so my orange, green, and blue now for the next day are already pulled out. And my dog is licking. It's bothering me. Panel of Santa is rich dark blues and other blues. I'm making the blocks that go around. That sounds gorgeous. I love the non-traditional. I'm not a huge red and green fan. So having Santa in blues sounds gorgeous, Lori. Sounds absolutely gorgeous. I did not realize when I was picking all of these colors that it was going to be quite so bright. It was going to look primary color bright. But it does, doesn't it? It definitely does look primary color bright. All right. Everybody's saying hello to everybody else. And I made a good choice. So if you are getting this pattern, or you've already got this pattern and you haven't started it yet, or you haven't picked your fabrics yet, it is not a bad idea to choose solids or batiks, because you can flip those any direction you need to, and you don't have to worry about what it's going to look like. So with some of my fabrics, I can't do that. Some of my fabrics are single-sided, like you can't flip them. But this blue I can flip. The orange I'm working with right now I can flip. Some of my greens I can flip. Solids really are, they're the goat on this one. They're the greatest of all time on this quilt. I mean, granted, it matches my aesthetic, but it works too. Let's see. I am, since I finished playing with Jack today. Oh no, I'm glad you finished playing with him, Judy. I'm so glad you finished playing with him. Lori says she'll post the pic once the top is done. Good deal. Yay. I look forward to seeing it. And if you are when you post a show and tell picture in the Facebook group, don't panic if I'm not leaving comments right now. It's all that mental energy that I'm dealing with from my neighbor's noise. That is just, it's hitting me. It's getting me to the wall. You know, that proverbial wall where you just can't take anymore. I'm definitely getting there with it. So it's not that I'm not paying attention or not looking. It's that if I comment and then there's comments back or whatever, I'm going to feel overwhelmed. I'm not going to do that to myself. So I'm noticing. I'm watching you guys, but I'm just being very quiet. Being very, very quiet. I'm hunting wabbits. And who can tell me who says that one? Who can tell me who says the hunting wabbits? I'm well. Oh, good. Glad you're well, Chloe. I love that you guys are always checking on each other. That's so fantastic. Linda says she's working on the 5th clue for Spectacle of Scraps block of the month. Love being here on Sunday nights, but this week coming up is going to be designing and working on a jib sail for a 60-foot. Oh, that sounds both exciting and well above my pay grade. Elmer Fudd. Yes, Lori. Yes. Definitely is Elmer Fudd. Dude, I never enjoy playing with Jack. I've decided that I'm going to rip out the quilting on a queen size quilt. Oh my gosh, that's the size quilt that I've got that I started ripping. Ellen says she just watched Tuesday's show and tell. It was lovely to see everyone's beautiful pieces. Yes, it was. It so was. All right, so if you are on the fence about temperature rings, let me show you something that I included. So this says strip 4. Because of the way that my layout is a repetition. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You can do it where like if you were doing the same colors, just say you're going to do the same colors I'm doing, your reds could be in the middle or both of your blues could be in the middle. And that would be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is not the way I did the first one. The first one, the cover sample, is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's like it goes up to one color and then comes back away from the one color. So I include labels so you know how big you've got to cut your strips, and you can just label your strip. And so like let's say when I go to pull out this bag, I've got strip 4 and strip 5 in this bag because that's what, you know, they have different sizes. Hey, Cynthia. They have different sizes. So you can actually label your strips. And I just put the little magic clips on there on each one. And it just saves me hassle. Just saves me so much hassle. Oh no, what's wrong? Haven't been in sewing room. Had to work Wednesday and Thursday, gone all day Friday. Sewing group all day on Saturday. Got sick after lunch. Oh no. Machine is still down. Ugh. That's the worst part. That's the worst part, because when you want to get to sewing, you really can't. That is so aggravating. I hope you get to feeling better soon. I really, really do. I have got all day quilting tomorrow for Quilts of Valor. So we're going to see how much I can get done over at Quilts of Valor. And then I've got William's live tomorrow night, and then I've got my live Tuesday night, and then I am leaving to go to Utah. So I'm just going to trim off some of the extra. Not that I need to, but I just want to. Let's see. Last night I finished sewing the borders on my Wild West. So 2 more blocks for the 2025 Guild Mystery Quilt. I started machine quilting a charity quilt. See? There you go. There you go. Baby steps is my motto. Yes, Laura. Definitely baby steps. Baby steps get you there. I have been working on the 365 quilt. So when you guys see it in March, when you see the videos that I did, I'm doing March right now. And so when you see the videos, you'll see me in the same outfit because that's what I've been working on. And I don't know if any of y'all are going to remember that by then, but that's okay. That is okay. And my dog is over here just constantly licking. It's driving me crazy. And I just dropped my clip. Here we go. All right. It is hot over here too. It's cold outside, but it is hot in here. And part of it's because of the iron. All right, so 5 on this one is going to be my low temp, which is this bag. Okay. The F26 bag. I'll have to pull the red when I get to that end. And let's see, I'm doing 5. That's strip 4. This is strip 5. Okay. See, they're all measured exactly. The other nice thing, in case you were wondering, is I also include templates, and you can freezer paper the templates, which is what I've done. And I have probably plenty of fabric, but that's also another reason I'm keeping some of this cutoffs, because I'm going to cut off quite a bit right now. I could transfer it and make sure I've got enough, but I'm not gonna. Maybe. Hang on. Let me see if I want to do that, because I really do need to conserve some fabric. All right, it's gonna go this way, and that would actually be enough if I do that. So I guess I will. I'll save it. I'll save the extra. So instead of trimming off that whole piece or a big old chunk, I'm flipping the template around and I'm going to trim here, and that's going to be my edge. That's going to be my sewing edge, or my seam allowance edge. So let's see. Feeling better today. Oh, good. You did eat something. That's important. You gotta eat. You do not heal if you do not eat. That is the way that works. All right, so the way that I'm doing these freezer paper templates is I am attaching it. You can do this however you want to. So if you got acrylic, do acrylic. That's fine. But I just adhere the freezer paper, and then I just rough trim close to it, and that's all you need to do. You don't have to put in a whole lot of extra anything to it. So now that I've got it trimmed, I'm just going to pull that back. And you are always putting the templates on the wrong side of the fabric. Ask me how I know. I figured this out before and then sat there and tried to figure out what I was doing. Okay, so this is my trimmed edge, and that's my trimmed 1/4 inch edge. And my freezer paper is up underneath what I'm holding. And I'm just going to make sure that what I need covered is going to be covered. So I'm going to flip it over and make sure that we are covered all the way, and it looks good enough to me. Looks very good enough to me. So we're going to go with that. Oh, thank you, Annette. She said, dropping in briefly, say hi. Thank you, Ellen. She's like, thumbs up for Tammy, please. Yes, please. Please give me a thumbs up. I definitely need all of the love and support. We have dropped a few subscribers. Thankfully, we're still over 1,000, so there's that. And I do not know when the ads will hit, so just let me know. Let me know. Make sure we don't miss anything, because I don't want you guys missing anything. Oh my gosh, my dog. He's over there because he got in trouble for being over here. And I had to kick him out 4 times. All right. So I do separate my thread and pull the loops. There we go. That way I don't have extra thread sitting here, because by the time you do this whole quilt, if you have extra anything, you're going to feel it a little bit. And it's just obnoxious. So now I can fold that back out, and I'm going to take it to the iron, and we're going to press it on there. And what I do is I put my template like this. I put it the shiny side up, and I make sure that I'm only pressing on the fabric. You can do it the other way, and that's how I start doing it. But when I get to this point, then you can just do that. You could just do it from the fabric side up. Probably won't hand quilt anything. I have 2 vintage quilt tops that deserve to be hand quilted. They were hand pieced. They were rescued from a thrift store. See, you're out there being a hero. You are being a quilt hero, Laura. I have 1 vintage quilt. It is actually fully quilted, thank goodness. I don't know that I would have the stamina to try to hand quilt it. I'm going to teach my 4-H kids how to hand quilt, but you know, the teachers teach because they can't do. That's about what we're looking at. I'm going to teach them how to do it because I know how it should be done. Sir, could you stop, please? Stop. I can still see you. Just because you're over there does not mean I cannot see you. He's still going to keep doing it, guys. He is determined. He is so determined. All right, let's see. We are on step 6. I do not have a template for 6, so we're just going to go with what I got. So how many of you guys got this pattern? How many of you guys actually bought this pattern to work on it? Because I haven't done much with it lately. I feel like it's not fair that I haven't. Oh no! And that's trying to get some sleep but hasn't been able to sleep. That stinks. That's rough. I'm so sorry. All right, this is not going to cover, and I don't know why. So we're going to see if I did it this way, if it's going to cover that way. I think it will. I always make sure to do like a fold back test if I'm not sure, not 100% sure. Oh, that's definitely going to cover. So I'm having to lay it this way. I don't know what I did last time, but you know, it is. Oh, good. Chloe's wanting to work on this at the retreat. Good. Good deal. Just make sure you got all your data. That's the important part. That's going to be the hard one to find last minute. So the data is the hard part to find. Let's see. It's a shame we don't live closer. I would love to hand quilt them for you. I did that for a couple of friends here, and I was honored to do that. That's awesome. That's awesome, Susan. Oh, good night, Mona. Good night. Thank you for hanging out with us for a little bit. I don't even know what song is playing on my headset right now. I recognize it, but I don't know what song it is. Don't feel too bad. I'll get plenty of sleep under anesthesia in the morning. Oh no. Well, maybe the surgery is going to do exactly what it's supposed to do, and you're going to feel better and be able to rest afterwards too. I find that I sleep so well after anesthesia, not during necessarily, but after. I definitely get some sleep then. Definitely get some sleep then. Oh, okay. Just making sure I was reading everything right. There we go. So this time I am ironing with the freezer paper up. So I'm ironing through the freezer paper because that's a smaller piece and I can't tell exactly where it ends just looking through it. Susan, one is a postage stamp and one is a double wedding ring. Ooh. Well, I am hoping to have some more quilts quilted by retreat time. I needed to get a quilt on the frame today, and it has not happened. I mean, it's sitting on the frame, but that doesn't count. I would know just how to quilt both. Oh, that's awesome, Susan. That is awesome. You know, Casper's kind of like a central location to both of you. No, I'm just kidding. You know I gotta throw that in there, right? I gotta throw it in there. I met some people last night and one was like, well, my mom quilts. I'm like, oh, very cool. Yay. Hey, Rayanne, if you forget how you did it before, you can always go back and watch your videos. Right? I know. I know. I just still haven't found, I haven't looked either. But I haven't found the one where I did the card trick yet. Because that one's going to take a lot of fixing. That one's going to take a lot of fixing. All right, strip 7 I have a template for. And we are just going to pick a side because, again, it doesn't matter. This fabric is a solid. And it is also wider than I need it to be. I'm glad you're here, Rayanne. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right. So on my first strips, I didn't bother trimming the rough edges off because you don't need to. In paper piecing, it's not a big deal. So I didn't trim the extra edges off. So all I'm going to do is trim along this template edge, this top edge, because that's all you need. You just need that template edge because that is what is going on your next piece as your seam allowance. So, and I am going to trim off the fuzzies just because I don't like dealing with them. I want to play with them, but I don't want to play with them in my quilt piece. So I'm just trimming off a little bit of the fuzzies. See? Just a little bit of them. I didn't trim them all off. And if I can't get a 1-inch square, I'm throwing it in the bucket. Is the retreat full? No. The retreat is not full. Absolutely not. We got lots of room still. My friends are not available. It would be just me. That's okay. You are welcome to come without your friends. They are just going to miss a fabulous time. They're just going to miss a very fabulous time. That's what it's going to come down to. But yes, there is plenty of room. So you can always find new friends too. And you can make friends. There's going to be a lot of people to make friends with too. There's going to be a lot of that going on. I mean, you've already got friends here. Been here just wrestling with these windows. Oh my gosh. What are we up to now? Because you had 6 to do, right? And we're up to, I know you had 1 the other night. And I know you were working on 1 the other day. Let's see. I believe you two would be, yes. I do agree, Laura and Susan. And see, you guys found yourselves through me, right? I'm going to take credit. Even if you didn't find each other through me, I'm going to take credit. It's a harmless credit, right? It's a harmless credit. Oh, hey, Nanette, welcome in. Welcome. Glad you're here. All right, I'm probably still going to be using this orange for a hot minute because the daylight hours don't change very quickly. I feel like my dog is in there trying to get into his toy box. And I put it out of his reach. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet? Mommy's talking to other people and not talking to him. Do you guys want to see me work on this a lot? Do you like this project? Or do you want me to keep rotating out projects? Because I am open to suggestions. You guys let me know what you would like to see me work on. Because I don't mind working on this a lot. Second ad. Oh, gosh. We're already at a second ad? I don't know what YouTube's doing now. Hey, thank you, Annette. You have another raffle ticket for April 14th. Congratulations. Thank you. Would you consider doing a Zoom at the retreat so those of us that attend could be a part of it? Yes, I will consider it. I don't know what kind of bandwidth we're going to have. But yes, I would absolutely do that for like part of the retreat. It's not going to be the full time. Oh yeah, can't attend. Yeah, I will do a Zoom for part of it, but I don't know what part yet. I don't know if it's going to be for like part of the dinners, or because we're going to do some hype stuff during dinner, or if we're going to do it during the sew time. I don't know yet. Trying to figure out how to pay since I don't have PayPal. You can also send me a check. A check or cashier's check. Either one works. Yeah, that works too. If we pay for a treat and can't come, yes, as long as it is before the cutoff. Yeah, we can do that. As long as, so we have to hit the minimum, and we have to keep the minimum of 30. And then once that minimum's met, then yeah, if something happens, yeah, we'll work it. Oh, there you go. Laura says that I can take credit for creating a lovely quilting community that definitely has connected some awesome folks. There you go. There you go. And yeah, I mean, I will do for like, we might do like a couple of hours one day. But I don't know how much we're going to do, because I mean, I will do a Zoom for part of it, but it's not going to be the whole retreat. I just will not have the mental ability to do that. I already know I won't. So we'll do what we can. We'll do what I can. Let's see, 36 is F04. The other one on this one was F3. So this is F4. Hey, Raven, welcome in. Welcome. Sir, you do not have room back here. Sir, out, please. We're determined. We're nothing if we're not determined around here. I wish this YouTube playlist would show me what the song is that's playing. Because I know this song, but I can't tell you guys what it is. Oh, it's definitely helping though. I will say that. I could not be doing this right now with all of the noise that I've been hearing all day. I would be so beside myself struggling. So this is definitely helping. All right. There we go. And this will complete one arc, and this is going to be 2 days worth. So what do you guys think? You want to see more of this? Or do you want me to wait until I'm assembling arcs to the background? Or do you want to see more arcs going together? What do you guys want to see? Or do you want to pull out other projects? I almost pulled out a different project tonight and realized that I was going to have a lot of prep work to get ready to do that one. I decided it was a little too much for me tonight. I was not up for it. Not up for it. All right. This one's going to be a press, and then get it kind of trimmed a little bit, and then we are done with this arc. We are done. All right. All right, so here's what I'm sitting with. I'm sitting with freezer paper and this extra piece hanging off. So I'm going to rough trim, because again, this is going to be trimmed down later. I mean, I'm not trying to waste fabric, but hey, it's Susie, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. I am still waiting on the mail. I'm still watching the mail, I promise. Think you should work on what you want or brings you joy. You know, I know, but I know. All right, so I could trim this down some extra. I'm not going to worry about it. So my last arc was arc 97, so this one is 98. And this has nothing to do with how many arcs I've done. Because I'm not jumping around, I am going in chronological order. But this is arc 98. That's just where it's placed in the quilt. So that got the 17th and 18th of February. Now, depending on how your layout does on yours, your arc numbers would be different. There's a lot of options and a lot of variables. And so I built all of that into the pattern to make it easy to figure out. All right. So now it's peeled off my freezer paper. Okay, and I am taking my pins, and let me grab one. I put them all the way out of my reach because I wasn't thinking I was going to need them tonight. I'm sending it tomorrow. Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. You are fine. I just want to let you know I was looking for it because you told me it was coming. So that works. That works. All right, so now I've got this pinned with ARC 98. So in a little bit, I'll go looking for where ARC 98 goes, and we'll put it in its bag. So we'll do that before I end tonight. This only took like 40 minutes, and a lot of that was talking and showing. So we might get another 2 done, maybe. Might get another 2 done. Okay, so 46 is my high temperature for the day, which is F4, which is what I've still got out. And we are 643 minutes, which is still under the time. Ooh, I get to change colors of orange this month. So my hours of daylight, if you were doing a temperature rings quilt or you're doing a temperature quilt and you don't know how to, you want to kind of calculate how much daylight you guys had, especially if your daylight is significantly different throughout the year. I converted everything to minutes. So 643 minutes of daylight. I don't know how many minutes of daylight we had today, but this time 2 years ago, we had 555 minutes of daylight. So however you want to calculate that. However you want to calculate that. All right. So here's my strip 1, and I am putting it right side down. So when you are starting, hey Jacqueline, welcome in. So when you're starting paper piecing, I always put my first fabric right side down, because you're going to sit there with this piece of paper and you're going to position it until you're happy. Okay. So I'm going to position it here because I think that's going to give me my 1/4 inch here, and I'm going to have plenty of room for my other side. Okay. So I'm going to pick it up and take it to my iron. And I'm going to adhere it with the freezer paper using the waxy substance of the freezer paper. If you were doing this with regular paper, just absolutely like printer paper, whatever, what I recommend that you do is you pin it with one of the flat pins. So like these are the glass ball pins that I usually use. So they've got a very distinctive ball shape to them, and they stand up quite a bit. If you are going to pin paper piecing, as I almost drop it, I recommend using like these flower head pins because they are so stinking thin. Now you can probably use magic pins that are flat too, and you see the puppy behind me trying to get into stuff, trying to look for his place, and he doesn't have one. So I use these when I'm doing regular paper piecing just to hold my first piece in there. I don't use glue. I know some people do use glue, but I am not a glue person. I do have glue, and I have used glue in the past, but I don't like the feel of it. And if I happen to leave it in there for an extended period of time, I don't want my fabric to pick up that glue. Chloe says those are her favorite pins. The flower head ones, I like them, but I've melted a few of them. You know how I tell you guys never to sew through your pins? I don't have that problem. I have the problem if I melt my pins. So I don't like doing that. I've done it far too many times. I don't want to do it again. All right, 51. It's going to put it with a different red. So I'm going to swap out my red bag for the next round that I need it for. I think it said F5. Am I going to one I haven't used yet? No, I've used F5. So here's what I've also done. So where is it? Okay. So in my bags, once I use a color, like once I've gotten into it, dug into it, whatever, I write the color name, number, whatever on the bag. So this is F5. So my little sticker for F5, I still have it on clipped to my extra. However, I haven't dug into F7 yet. I haven't hit a range that F7 covers, which is going to be higher temperatures going up to 104 degrees, I believe. Yeah. This is going to go up to 104 degrees. So this F7 I haven't touched yet, so it's not written on the bag. So it is just the little label down here. So all of the labels are included with the pattern. I think the strip numbers is the only thing that I didn't make enough of. And I don't know why I didn't. I guess I just wasn't thinking about all the permutations that you could do with this. All right. So I've gone ahead and trimmed, back to the topic, handwrite. So I've just trimmed where my 1 and 2 join, so that way I don't have to think about where this fabric joins in. Okay, and then for tomorrow's date, 6:45 is still under. Ooh, I get to change in the middle of an arc. It jumps over that 6:50 in the middle of an arc. That's exciting. Sorry, the nerd in me. The nerd in me is having a good day. All right, so I'm going to cover this. Oh, that's going to get my selvage, isn't it? Is that going to get my selvage? Yeah. Let me scoot it up just a hair. And I am putting this just where I'm going to cover everything. And I'm going to have a little bit of extra. I'm going to trim that off in just a minute. I'm just going to trim that off. I did go through and pulled out the 1st through the 15th on the 365 quilt, in case you guys are interested in that one. That video is going to just be a slide, kind of like a slideshow, kind of. I'm actually pulling them out and putting them on my table here. But I'm going to go through them in order so you guys can see what I made for January 1st through 15th on the 365 quilt. And those blocks I made probably about 10 years ago. So they're old, but they're still the same. Still the same fabrics, still the same pattern. And so that video will come out probably on the 15th, is what I'm thinking. That way you guys can see the progress kind of live. And at least until we get to where you guys are seeing me actually assemble blocks, you're not going to be left out in the dark. Because I will start assembling blocks in March. All right, there's going to be a little bit of selvage on this one. There's just no getting around it. But it's going to end up in the seam allowance, so I'm not worried about it. Who else does that? Who else leaves some selvage in the seam allowance? I did have to go trim another strip to have enough to put in here. Yeah, it's like less than 1/4 of an inch for less than 1/2 an inch. It won't matter. It won't matter. All right, 3 is going to be my wind speed. You guys are so quiet. Am I just talking? Am I just talking too much? Chloe's put selvage in her projects. Yeah, see, you know, it happens. It happens. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. All right, 24 and 26 are both F17, so I will need that for 2 days in a row. Nanette has done that as well. See, I feel a little bit better now. I feel a little bit better. I'm not the only one leaving selvage in my project. If I had done this year for wind speed, we would be off the charts already. It would be so crazy. It'd be so crazy, but I only have 11 days to have done so far. And we are so far away from that. So far away from that. Nanette has left selvage in. I love it. I love it. I mean, sometimes you gotta do it, right? A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do, right? You know, that's my motto. You just got to. Try to pick fabrics for the last 2 applique blocks. Oh, very cool. That's why you're quiet. That makes sense. I have got to pull Gnome Sweet Gnome out, and I'm going to prep 1 applique piece so that I know what I'm doing. Like, I refresh it in my mind before next week, because we are doing that next week and the following week. If I know the selvage will be in the seam allowance, I don't give it a second thought. See, there you go. There you go. There's no reason to give it a second thought if it's in the seam allowance. There just isn't. There's no reason to worry about it. That's my thought. That is totally my thought on it. Now, I will say this. On this project, if you want to add an 1/8 ruler, as long as you put your stitch length really short, you can do add an 1/8. And you can even salvage a little bit of extra fabric on it. My pattern is written for a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but you can get by with 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. You just got to decrease that stitch length. But by the time you're done doing this much work, you probably want that 1/4 of an inch, just saying. One of the blocks I sewed yesterday has 2 half square triangles that has selvage in the seam allowance. Oh, see, you know what? I don't feel so bad. I'm not starting a trend. You guys are helping me complete a trend. I sewed into the freezer paper a little bit. Oops. All we're going to do is rip that freezer paper just a hair. It's not bad. It's not bad. It won't make a difference. When everything is said and done, nobody's going to know unless you're watching this video. Had to use selvage in this kit. Not sure how they figured out some of the details. I had to super fudge a snow globe. The cut they gave me did not allow 5 of each snow globes. See, I'm picky about my kits for that very reason. I am so worried because I add a little bit of extra. Now in Flying Geese Mountains, I did not add that much extra. So it's not already figured in like it normally would be. I tell you to figure it in, but it is not already figured in for you. So you gotta add a little bit so you have some extra. I went to the bare minimum of the amount of fabric you need. So you definitely have to figure out some extra if you want to have margin for error with the Flying Geese Mountains. I do say it in the pattern. I figure no one will look inside the quilt and what they don't know. Exactly, Laura. Exactly. I agree with you, Susan. Yes, and none of us are going to tell. See, I love you guys. You're awesome. You're so awesome. Oh my gosh. So I'm trying to debate on what kind of project I'm going to take on the road with me. And work on. So I don't know yet. I don't know. It's got to be something I can do in the car and then something in the hotel room, but I don't know what I want to work on. All right, 28, then 35. Ooh, those are both the same color. F27. All right. I love this drawer thing, guys. I love it. I have been debating for forever on getting one of these because I was like, I don't really need that much space taken up by one project. This project you kind of do. And then once I get done with this project, legit kits is going in here. I think that's what I'm going to have to do that Starry Night. So I will get it started sometime soon, I hope. But I got to get this one out of here. So I think that's where my timeline is on Starry Night. So I think Starry Night will be a start in 2026, but will be a finish in 2027. All right, so I need strip 4 now, and I'll need strip 5 in just a minute. All right, that's strip 5, and this is strip 4. Okay. I love the way that I did this. I think this makes it really easy to figure out where you're going with it and doesn't leave you hanging. I mean, it uses a lot of Ziploc bags. Don't get me wrong, it uses a lot of Ziploc bags, but I think that's a small price for organization and sanity, because there's definitely a sanity aspect to this. How far along are you on your wings? This is only February. I am way, way behind. I am a year, almost 2 years behind. If we were following the exact date, I am 2 years and 11 months behind. I am ahead of us right now by, like if we were counting it as this year, I'm ahead by, we're working on the 19th and 20th of February. So a month and almost 10 days ahead. Oh, I'm way behind. I'm way behind. I'm ahead on 365 if you count it that way too. Because I'm working on March in the 365. So I'm almost done with March. I have one more day. I have March 31st to go. And then we will be done with March. I'm so excited. So excited. April has a lot of different blocks in it. I've looked ahead. I've looked ahead. I don't know if you can do that if you sign up this year. Like I don't know. I don't know how far she lets you look ahead. But that's almost 100 blocks that I've gotten done. We're like at 89 blocks that I've gotten done. So maybe by the next time I sit down, I'll have over 100 done. And that would be a nice kind of like a round place to be at. I've got to cut some more blocks though. And then that's in April. Isn't April so different from March? March is like all of the dark blocks, and then you've got occasional big blocks mixed in with all the small. There's a ton of small blocks in this quilt, guys. In the 365 quilt, a lot of them are 3-inch blocks. And March is a hard month too. Oh, you can't look ahead if you sign up. Oh no. But if you sign up now, oh, you get January 1st through 11th. Okay. Darn. That stinks. That stinks. Well, guys, if you want to do the 365 quilt with me, you're welcome to. Just know that I'm already up to March. So I'm doing ahead because I kind of have to for content. I can't wait. April feels like a reprieve. I know. I'm looking at it just jealous. Like, why was this not a thing when I did this the first time around? I think that's why I got stuck. I feel like there's a lot of hard stuff in March. March 25th really got me. It was a pain. And some months or some days she gives you 2 blocks. Yeah, I have them saved from previous. Yeah. All of mine are saved from when I did it the first time around, which I think is 10 years ago. Or no, not quite 10 years. Because Tom and I haven't been married 10 years. I started this in Montgomery. So that would have been 2017. I started in, well, either 2017 or 2018. So we're coming up on 10 years. We're coming up on it. So if I don't get it done, we're sitting looking at 10 plus years. I feel like I'm going to have a lot of finishes all at the same time because I've got the 365, I've got this, which is a long-term project too. And then I've got some serious paper piecing ones. Nanette printed them all out. Oh no, I do not have printouts. All of mine are digital. It's all on the computer. Believe me, printouts would have been fantastic, but I probably would have lost them between then and now. So I'm kind of glad I didn't, but it's okay. All right, it doesn't go that way, it goes this way. So when you are working on temperature rings, something I'll show you. All right, so we're doing strip 5. Strip 5 had that template. So I ironed the template on, trimmed the edge, and so that's the edge I ended up with. The trim edge that you do is the seam allowance edge, okay? So it's automatically going to go up against your 1/4 inch seam allowance from your previous piece, wherever it's supposed to be going. This strip is only as wide as it absolutely has to be because I want you to be able to conserve as much fabric as you can, okay? So you have to line that edge up against your other edge, and then you have to move it one way or the other to make sure you're going to have a 1/4 inch after you sew and press it, because you're going to need it over here, okay? So you have to shove it down a little bit or shove it up a little bit until you've got that seam allowance on your first like 3 or 4 pieces. If you haven't done these before, I recommend put your normal stitch length, like put your normal regular everyday stitch length in place, and don't decrease it until you know how you're doing this, because it's really hard to rip tiny little stitches out that are designed to hold your paper piecing project in place. It's really hard to rip those. So do your regular seam allowance or stitch length until you get accustomed to it, and then you can shorten it. And project box, sleeves and project box. Oh my gosh. So my project is in a project box, but I do have extra yardage. So all of this fabric that fits is in the box, and then the extra is actually on this bottom shelf behind me. You guys can't see it. So if you're like looking, like it's on these kind of bolts down here. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 bolts of fabric, and it's not, you know, it's yardage. I just don't know how much yardage. That's the other thing. Laura is old school. She has to print things out and be able to make notes on the patterns. Yeah, I will say 365 is a good one if you have the capacity to print it and store it that way. It's a good one to do that with. At the time that I started it, I did not have the money to be printing a whole bunch of stuff, and my quilting hobby was still considered extra. Like, I wasn't making any money at it, wasn't doing enough to make money at it, you know, all of that. Like now, if I needed to print something, I don't get any grief about printing whatever I need. But back then, I got a lot of grief about it. Susan and Pam are like that too. They have to print it out and make notes. Yeah. I would love to have been able to do that. It just wasn't in the cards for me to do that. All right, and I will have you guys notice, I just put my blue back up, and it is going back in my drawer. I'm not leaving anything out between arcs. Like, I'm not hanging on to it because I don't want to try to figure out where I put something. Putting something like up here and forgetting about it absolutely happens. I ordered ink for my printer. Oh, that's expensive, isn't it? Printer ink is just outrageous now. Joan says she prints her patterns too, doesn't like to read them on the computer. Always need to get back on computer to get the next step. Hated that. Yeah. Now, I will say this. The nice thing with 365 is, aside from the larger patterns, like the center medallion piece, I think that's the only one that I've encountered so far that is not one page. Most of the others are all one pages. So you could probably print on the front side and on the back side and save yourself some paper too, doing it that way. If you want to. If it is important to you to save paper. I definitely recycle once I'm done with stuff though. I really miss having a garden. I used to take all of the regular paper, not magazine, not the glossy stuff, but all of the newsprint and regular printer paper. I would take all of that and I would put it into the compost for my garden, and my plants liked it just fine. I really do miss being able to do that. But I assume that if Thursday goes well, then I may be able to do that once again. What is the fascination with temperature quilts? I don't know, actually. I honestly don't, Joan. Ad time. Oh, no. So when I decided to come up with this, and Susan got one too. Okay, so they're giving you all the ads at the same time. Gosh darn it. So a lot of people were doing crocheted temperature blankets. I don't crochet. I don't knit. I don't do yarn. Like, I have yarn. I need to do something with it. And I have a knitting loom that sits on your table to do it with. but have I had time, energy, or the mental capacity to do anything with it lately? No, I have not. Um, but I don't really want to. Laura's had several ads too. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know what YouTube's thinking. I had the settings on the like lowest number of ads, and that doesn't seem to be what YouTube's actually giving you guys. I don't know why. I'll have to do a ticket or something. Um, doesn't take the cartridges. They're too expensive. I'm not even sure what kind it is. I'm just happy that I can print anything I want to. Yeah, there you go, Laura. There you go. Just be happy about it. So, oh, the history of the block. Ooh, there's no history on what I've got. So I don't know if she added that after I started. But I get no history. I don't get that lucky. I don't have history. Um, yeah, I think we might be able to get three in tonight. That'll be awesome. Um, three arcs in. Where was I gonna go with this? What was I gonna say? Love to crochet. I do it nearly every night before I go to bed. See, I love that. I love that. I'm just not that person. I am definitely not that person. And there's a lot of like crochet blankets. There was actually, even about the time I started this 2 years ago, there was people doing cross stitch temperature pieces. Like they were cross stitching the temperature every day, and it was like 9 stitches or 20 stitches or whatever. Hey Katie, welcome in. Like it was like something that I could do, but it was totally crazy to me. I was like, no, why would I want to cross stitch the temperatures for the day? And so I wasn't in love with that. And so I started looking at temperature quilts. And I wasn't in love with anything that I saw. I absolutely hated every design I looked at. They were all very boxy. They were all very, they were doable. Anyone seen Rita? I have not. She's not been in here yet today. I don't know when the last time I saw her was. I know I've seen her, but I don't know when the last time is. I think it was actually maybe here on Tuesday night, I think. Temperature stitching took off and cross stitch. Yeah, agreed. Not for me either, Lori. Not for me either. And so I was determined. I was going to come up with something that I wanted to do, that I loved, that I could stand behind, and that was temperature. And I'm like, you know what? I've been dying to do a double wedding ring quilt. Just dying to do it. I've got the die. I've had it for ages. I just need to buckle down and just do it, right? Well, that's where this idea came from. Is here I am trying to figure out a way to do a temperature quilt, and I wanted to do it in a double wedding ring because I had the AccuQuilt die for that. And I was like, you know what? Let me contact AccuQuilt, make sure that I can publish this. And that's where it all came from. AccuQuilt said, yeah. I had to follow their little rules and such for publishing it. But yeah, they were happy to work with me on it, or they were happy for me to do it, and gave me everything that I needed to be able to do it. And so, I made the first quilt I made, the one that's on the cover art for that quilt, or for this quilt pattern, is my husband's. Now, my husband's is, oh gosh, Laura, she says they've cleaned out the storage unit and found a huge tub of vintage cross stitch kits she'd totally forgotten about. That's crazy. The thing that I decided was most important to me was having a purpose for doing a temperature quilt. And we had just moved to Casper in 2023. And so this version, this one that you guys are seeing me put together with a black background and then all the bright colors, this is 2024, January through December 31st, 2024, here in Casper. And I chose to do that because I felt like that, what was I going to say? Um, it would be remarkable enough because it's our first full calendar year living in Casper. And I noticed so hard the first year how different it got from winter to summertime for the amount of hours of daylight. So I wanted to be like recording that. Chloe's gonna be doing 2025. Oh, good deal. The year you came to Casper. Yes, I like. Or no, wait. That was last year. That's okay. That's okay. I got it published at the end of 2024, and it was a lot of writing. It was a lot of writing. I mean, anybody who's got it can testify how big of a book it really is. This is like a 1-inch binder that I've got mine in, and it's in sheet protectors, but it's a binder. And it's got a workbook in it, so it walks you through like all of the options. But my husband's quilt, the one on the cover, is August 1963 through August of 1964 in Birmingham, Alabama. My husband was born in Birmingham, as was I. So that quilt signifies his first year of life and what the weather was in Birmingham his first year. I would love to do a temperature quilt for the year we were married. See, there you go. And Laura says it's on her bucket list. See, that works. Yes, agreed, Lori. She said she thinks that Laura has a great collection of kits in that vintage kits. Yeah, I bet. The cross stitch that I still have on my hoop is from a pattern that was published in 1983. That is almost as old as me. Almost as old as me. I feel bad that it's that old, but I didn't start it then. I just started it. All right, strip 8. Let me see which one is strip 8. That's strip 1, so it's going to be this one. All right. And it's a solid. It's a solid. Yay for solids. Solids really do make this easy because then you can flip it whatever direction and you don't have as much fabric waste with the solids. I mean, you still have some. I mean, any paper piecing project, you're going to have some fabric waste. But I have found it is a lot less with these solids. So if I ever do a revised copy of temperature rings, I will definitely include that I recommend solids for less fabric waste. Instead of the traditional UFO list our guild has done in the past, we are doing it in a bingo format. 2 bingo numbers will be drawn each month. Those 2 projects are what will be worked on. That's awesome. I will admit that I actually feel, and I know we're not even 2 weeks into the year, but I do feel like my post-it note system is really going to work for me this year because I'm literally just having to grab my stack of post-it notes and pull them up and figure out which project I'm willing to attempt to work on that day. My husband's aunt gifted most of them to me. She owned a fiber art shop and closed it. The kits are from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. I have floss and fabric too. Oh my gosh. You have a gold mine, Laura. You definitely have a gold mine there. I will say, guys, if you are doing freezer paper for this, make sure that you do not use steam. You do not need to use steam for the freezer paper. It will wrinkle it. Not that it's going to, make a huge difference, but it might feel icky for you. So I don't recommend using steam. So I love steam, but I'm not even using steam for this. Not going to do it. All right. We're still on those daylight hours, so that's going to stay for the moment. All right. This one is... All right. So that way you guys can see this. Okay. And I write small. So, like this is all of January, and you see all the check marks. So here's February. I started grouping them by what bag or what arc number they are because I didn't have that before, and I found that that helped me a lot. So this is where I'm at. So I've got my variables up here. I wrote them in, and so that's what I'm looking at every time I do this. All right, so that other one was 98, so this one is 99. So I'm going to mark 99 off. That's 19th and 20th. I have a couple of cross stitch pieces that are on my eventual to-do list. Just cross stitch takes second place to quilting in my channel right now. I've not found my get up and go with cross stitch lately. Let's see. Yes, right? Laura, that would be a dream for me, says Lori. Yes. That's crazy. To have that access to that much. That's awesome. That is a true gift. That's a true gift. Alright, so that one's 99. So I got 98 and 99. And I don't care which way I pin this on there. I can pin it onto the red, the red end, or I can pin it onto the blue end. So these are the two we've done so far. So the blues over here are different. This blue is different from these, all of these. This red and this red are the same. That one's different, that one's different. And all of our greens are the same so far. So, woohoo. All right, so arc 100. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. And I am still using the same freezer paper. It does get a little funky after a bit. Extra threads or whatever. I'm not worried about it. I just use it until it doesn't stick anymore, and then we get another piece. I used to do a ton of cross stitch. I've only done a few pieces over the last 20 years. See, I don't do a lot at all. Not like I used to. All right, 41 and 48. Both of those are F4. And my neighbors are getting loud. I can hear them over my headset. Oh my goodness. I think it's my neighbors. I don't know. Thank you, Chloe. She says pretty. Thank you. All right, daylight hours. All right, this is where it changes. So I've been using F9, so now I need to pull out F10. So that'll be the second day. And because we're still close to the beginning of the year, I know I have not used F10 because the label is still in here. So I do have a Sharpie just because I wanted to keep everything uniform. So I have a Sharpie to write my number on the bag when I actually go to use it. So the little label inside the bag can go to the wayside because I don't need it now. But, it is what it is. Okay, so I need strip 1, which is this one. I think that's my neighbors. Maybe I'm hearing outside wind. My mom used to cross stitch. I never liked to do it. I should get the tablecloth and napkins she did and show it for sew and tell. Yes, definitely do. Definitely do. I have a kid that was in my class last week, and she apparently does cross stitch at home, but she doesn't want to do it in a classroom because she doesn't want another project. But she wants to come learn to sew. And I think she did not take up to cross stitch. Is probably part of the reason she's looking to join up with this. Lori cross stitches all year at night. I only quilt in the winter. See, I used to cross stitch all of the time. Mr. Siberian Wind drove a semi-truck, and while he was driving, that was one thing that I could do, is I could cross stitch. I couldn't necessarily always read a book or look at anything in a book or magazine, and I could not watch a computer screen or my phone all the time because I would get very car sick. So cross stitch was it. I could stitch and I would look up at the road in between stitching and look back down, and I was fine. it did not faze me one bit. Agreed, Laura. Laura says, Joan, I bet they're beautiful. I agree. I do agree. So, do you guys have any plans this week? Do you guys have anything going on special this week? I've got that trip, and we've got Reflections of Mystery on Thursday. Don't forget we have Reflections of Mystery on Thursday. She hasn't shared them yet, Laura, unless she just did like 2 minutes ago. I haven't seen them for sure. Laura is asking, Laura, have you shared them for Show and Tell? Oh, good, good, yay! Yeah, let's rock out February. January, everybody got 12 entries, so it doesn't matter how many things you actually had in there. The person who put us over on my phone right now, laptop decided it had to update. Oh my gosh, Susan, your laptop has been a pain to you lately. You've not had any good luck with it not updating during a live. It has been doing that to you repeatedly now. That's rough. That is rough. I did get my the information for Quilt Wyoming this year, so I am looking forward to being able to tell you guys more about that next week or two. I did get it. It came in the mail. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All right. Let's see. Local retreat setup Thursday night. Retreat starts Friday. Ooh, very cool. I think there's maybe a lady or two coming from Casper to come up there for that retreat. I know a couple of them were talking about it the other week. I don't know who all is going for sure. No special plans. Hoping to sew, says Chloe. You and me both. I would love to be sewing a lot this week. I would love to be. I will be tomorrow, but I don't know how much I will be the rest of the week because of the travel. Ugh. Yeah, I don't like travel for that reason. Have yet to post anything. One day I'll remember. It's getting close to tax time and I have 3 sets of books to do. Ouch. Ouch, ouch. I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy that part. Katie says she made her first prototype Greenland flag block. Oh, very cool, Katie. That's awesome. Can't wait to see that. Hey, Dre, welcome in. Susan saying that is nice, Katie. I agree. I love when people are creating their own something or other. And it kind of leans into the modern quilt aesthetic when you're creating your own because there's not something already on the market. And so I do lean into that when I am designing these patterns for you guys. The purchase patterns. The others, I don't care if it's modern or traditional. It doesn't matter to me. But definitely on my purchase patterns, they tend to be a little bit more on the modern side. Just because I know it's not already been done. That's what I'm looking for. Cynthia says, this is my last week in Oklahoma. I'll be sewing and spending time with my siblings now that the youngest left tonight to go back to school. Oh my gosh. Well, at least you'll get a little bit of time with them before you have to go back to Virginia. Be safe. Be safe. Laura says, Lori, that's a busy time for sure. I'd love to see them if you have the opportunity or time to share. Yes, agreed. Absolutely agreed. Okay, this one is now done. We are done with it. It's going bye-bye. We won't see it again until near the end of the year. When the hours of daylight dip back down. How exciting is that? How exciting. How exciting. I'm hoping to get caught up this week. Oh, caught up? What is caught up? Does it exist in my world? I don't think caught up exists in my world. I think I'm firmly stuck in never caught up. I'm firmly stuck in I always try to catch up. But I don't think I'm firmly caught in. I don't think I've ever caught up. What would I catch up to? That's probably my next question. What would I catch up to? All right, so 3 is my wind speed. All right. And that is going to be 16 and 21. So we had 16 mile per hour winds one day and 21 the next day. So we're doing 16 and 17 are my F colors. So 17 is day 2 I believe. 16 is 16, yeah. day 1 is 16. And I do have wind colors for extraordinarily windy days, but I don't know that I will ever touch them. I thought I was going to. I planned for it, but I don't think I will. I think the way that it works out in 2025, or the 2024 data, I don't think it ever got windy enough to need the very high numbers. But that's okay. That is okay. Oh, I dropped my template. All right. Let's see if I can get it without going all the way down there, because I don't really want to go down there. Okay. Oh, and it wasn't even the one I was looking for. Strip 3. Strip 3. Now this one is a single-sided fabric. So the templates always go on the wrong side of your fabric. I do that both to remind you guys and to remind myself. All right, yeah, we'll finish this one and then we'll find the bags that they go in. That way you guys can see how this all goes, how all this works. Because it's all in the book. It's all in the notebook. It's all in the pattern. So you don't have to guess at it. It's all drawn out for you, how you need to do it. So we'll see how fast I can find it. I spent hours looking last 2 nights ago, something like that maybe. A few days ago, I spent a couple hours looking because I just was not seeing the numbers to save my life. It's aggravating when you don't see the numbers. Okay, so now that I've got this on there, that's lined up to my seam allowance and it is going to cover, but I'm not having to look through and make sure it's going to cover, because the way that the template's designed, the trim template, you don't have to worry about it covering. It will cover. And you don't have to have the super wide strips. You just have to have whatever width it is that I told you it needed to be. And I can't tell you what width it's going to be because that depends on the rest of your layout. Oh, Nanette, I'm always hoping to get caught up, right, Laura? I just don't know what I'm getting caught up to. That's like, you know, your nose is running, you need to go run and catch it. How? How do you run and catch it? The fridge is running too. How do I run and catch that one? Oh, dad joke central today. Dad joke central. Am I talking louder than I normally am? Or, you know, is this the right, normal, comfortable volume that you guys have been used to? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. With this headset in, with the music, I don't know if it's too loud or not loud enough or anything. I have no idea. So any feedback you guys can give me, I appreciate. All right. So this is the only day that I needed this for. So this is going back into the drawer as well. And now I get to deal with a low temperature. This is what this entire quilt is. It is pull out the bags, put the bags back, pull out the bags, put the bags back. All right, 27 and 26. So those should be, yes, those are both the same color. Okay, F26. All right. And there we go. Found it. That was easy. All right, so I need both strips, so I might as well just pull both of them out. And we need strip 4 first. Is that one 4? That's 5. Okay. So strip 4. Strip 4 has the edge, the crumpled edge. I do, if you guys are noticing, I am pressing my fabric after it comes out of the bag, so I'm getting a few wrinkles off. It helps. It's fine, Tammy, no louder than it is usual. Okay, good deal. So I'm not yelling at you guys because I have this noise in my ear. That's what I was worried about. I was worried I was yelling. I'm very conscious that I could be yelling. The playlist that I put on is like classic rock from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And it's pretty good stuff, actually. I was kind of shocked. YouTube got it right for once. I'm super excited. My niece is going to come look at the cross-stitch kits I have. In exchange for the kits, she said she'd help me get my sewing room in order after the last flood and the termites. Ah, perfect. That is a very good exchange, Laura. I'm a little bit jealous. Can I have a flood? Can I get a niece like that? I'm just kidding. But that's awesome. That's awesome. Having help to do it makes so much of a difference. Let's see, how often do you have to change your blades? It depends. Some months I spend a lot more time cutting things than I do actual sewing. And then some months I don't. I also travel with my rotary cutter because I don't have a backup. Not a Martelli. I want to get a second Martelli so I'll have a backup. But, I mean, it's okay right now. And I've had this one in since middle of December. No, yeah, middle of December. I've had it in since then because I had to change it when I was recording December and January. Speaking of reflections, guess I'll be on hold until I get my machine fixed. The repairman comes back sometime this month. Hopefully he won't have to have it for a long time from being backlogged. Agreed. I hope so too, Joan. The nice thing is, January is the easy month. January is honestly, honest to goodness, it is an easy month. It is like crazy easy. I love that I did this. I love that I did it because then it allows everybody to catch up. So if you haven't done reflections yet, you haven't seen it, you haven't heard about it, whatever, you still have time to catch up. Or if you have not been able to do it because of the holidays, you still have time. And you're not going to be trying to catch up that bad. I mean, January is only month 4. So, and it's not a hard month. So I think on next year's mystery, we're going to do the same thing. Next year's mystery, I think, will be the same thing. Next year's will be much more scrappy friendly. So if you want to use scraps, you're welcome to do that. There's going to be some that you'll need yardage for, but the rest will be scrappy friendly. So if you wanted to use scraps, you can do that. I hope it is repaired soon. I agree, Chloe. I agree. It stinks when your machine is down. Beauty was down a couple of different times this year, and it just absolutely killed me to have her down for as long as she was. All right, strip 3, 5, and 7. As I dropped strip 3 template. I dropped strip 5 template earlier. And strip 3 is what I needed. Now I need 5 and I dropped 3. So again, we're going to put it on the back. And the template should be about the width of your strip that you need it to go into place for. I designed them specifically to go right about there so that, you know, it wouldn't be that far off. My fingers are burned a little bit because I've been pulling this stuff off the iron so fast. My hand's a little burnt. My hand's a little bit burnt. All right. So we're gonna flip this over. I'm gonna trim off my little dog ear up here that I don't need. There is a lot of cutting small things off when you're working paper piecing. Don't panic. That is normal. It is all part of the process. All right. Yep, that'll work. So that first piece you put right side long arm carriage is supposed to be here tomorrow. I hope so, Susie. That would be fantastic. Get you back up and running too. You've been down for a hot minute too. Agreed, Laura. Hopefully he can get it to it quickly. Ad time. My gosh. YouTube is having a field day with these ads tonight. I'm going to see what I need to do to make adjustments. That's crazy. I shouldn't be doing it this frequently. I didn't think. Didn't think it was. All right. so we're on 5. So we only got 6, 7, and 8 to go. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I like this. This will be 3 strips we got done tonight. Now, one I started slightly before the live started. Just by a hair. Okay, so what I was going to say is when you're doing paper piecing, that first piece goes right side down to the paper, or right side down to the table. Your paper goes wrong side against the fabric. But then everything else goes right side to the wrong side of the paper, the paper piecing paper. So everything is, fabric is right sides together every time after that first time. My embroidery machine was down for 2 weeks. Hopefully yours doesn't take as long. Agreed. Yeah, I know, Susan. That's not like what I was expecting YouTube to do. Denise says no ads for her tonight. That's awesome. Do you have premium? If you've got YouTube Premium, that's why. I have YouTube Premium myself, so I never see ads. Welcome in, Denise. Glad you are here to join us. Glad you are here. I don't know what YouTube's deal is. Like, I set it to the lowest possible setting, but this seems like it's excessive. Me too. My Janome is okay, but it's not the same as Singer. I don't want to use it when started on the Singer. There you go. I hear you on that. Had several ads. I think I need to get YouTube Premium, but that's money that could go towards quilting. Agreed, but when you add it up across all of the different channels you watch, it adds up very quickly. It really, I love YouTube Premium. I was watching every single thing from Sean and Tiffany and Becca way back in 2023 before I started my channel. I was literally glued to YouTube. And you guys were really my community. And I could not go without watching something because it was fantastic. And I did not know there was this kind of YouTube community out there. And I decided one day I was watching, I think it was one of Sean's videos, and I could not get past 15 minutes without breaking for like 4 ads. And then it being on the TV, and that meant I had to pick up the remote to hit skip ad. And oh my gosh, I was so frustrated. That's when I broke down and got the premium. Oh, Cynthia's been missing Denise. Are you doing okay? Yes. Good question. So yeah, my YouTube Premium is part of my quilting budget. That is one thing that I have not let go of because it's quite necessary for my mental health. Quite necessary. Whatever he made, it looks really good. Mr. Siberian Wind was in the kitchen making something. Don't have premium. I've been watching from beginning. Neuropathy pain is killing my feet. Oh my gosh. I feel for you. I know that pain. And then I had to send my embroidery machine to have the timing checked and adjusted. It took 6 weeks. Ugh. Yeah, having a backup machine is where it's at when that's in the budget. I have an embroidery machine, but it is also on the quilting frame right now. So I have no backup. So if my machine goes down, well, the last break was actually a presser foot. So I could have embroidered while it was down, but I couldn't pull it off the frame because I'd already loaded a quilt and I wasn't going to do that again. I was so tired of taking stuff off and putting it on. All right, this is going to be 7. So this brand new strip that I just pulled out that I've never touched, I'm going to have to do the template trim on it. I'm so excited. We're getting to more daylight. Everybody hoping Denise feels better soon. Oh, let's see. And that was not Nanette's problem. She took it in for the timing. Ouch. Yes. Yeah. Neuropathy pain is absolutely the devil. It absolutely is. Because there's no way to counteract it other than just taking meds. And the meds are not fantastic. I've been on those meds before. They're not fun. So I can sympathize, firsthand sympathize with you. All right, so I'm gonna lay this on the back side of my fabric. I forgot you guys can't see that where I was working. All right, so my template's on there. So I'm just going to trim some of the fuzzies as I go, just because I can. I kind of like trimming the fuzzies a little bit. I don't know why I like trimming them, but I do. I do. Okay, that just pulled off. All right, my scrap box with big enough pieces to use for later. So yeah, if you haven't started this yet, if you're going to start this one, definitely have a scrap box or have a scrap bag to put your cutoffs that are big enough to sew together. So if it's like an inch or bigger, save those. That way, in case at the end of your quilt you run out of a given fabric, you still have scraps you can pull together and put something together for. It really does help. When I upgraded, they were going to give me $500 for the trade-in. It was ridiculously low. The same machine was selling for $3,000 used. Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely keep it. If they're not offering a decent trade-in value, keep it. I had a Bernina 590. Let's see. I'm seam ripping. Oh no! It might be like the only quilt on the winter. I hear you, Lori. I hear you. The 590 that I had, where I lived and worked when I bought it, it was actually the machine that I took home when I closed my Bernina store. And it was the one I could afford to keep. There was another one I wanted, but I couldn't afford it. So it was the one I could afford to keep. And it was the highest end one that I could afford. Well, there was another technician in the area, and he had worked on that machine previously to me taking over the store and becoming a technician myself. Unfortunately, he had a bad history of not repairing machines properly. I don't know if he's still in business or if his mom's still in business. I have no idea. But he didn't always repair things properly. That machine was the biggest lemon for me. There was a day I was trying to embroider fabric with my phone number to make dog collars. I was just embroidering the fabric, not even through the collar, just flat fabric. I could not get the machine to stitch the number 2 in the embroidery. And it wasn't a hard embroidery for it to do, but it just would not stitch it. It was everything in my power to get that machine to stitch that number 2. I ended up having to give up. And I couldn't do what I wanted to do because my machine just would not stitch it, no matter what I did. I took it back into the software, edited the pattern. Like, I tried everything. Literally everything. And so I went to the Bernina store or one of the Bernina stores in Atlanta that is still in business as of today. I found out a few months ago that they're still in business. But I went to a Bernina store in the Atlanta, Georgia area because they were the next ones that I knew of that were decent. And I took that machine with me, and I came home with Beauty and Reiki, and they were brand new. They had only been test sewn by the store like they're supposed to be, and that was it. So the only people that have sewn on these machines, aside from me, are Bernina certified technicians that have serviced them or that have test sewn, like Bernina people test sewing the machines. And they've been beautiful. I just did not have any luck with the machine that he had touched, that he had serviced and supposedly fixed, but apparently hadn't. I don't know what he did, but it just never sewed right after he touched it. So I made it a point that my next machine will be again another one that nobody has sewn on but me. That way I can say I know everything about that machine. I will be that picky person. Absolutely be that picky person. All right. All right. This arc is now sewn. It's still on the freezer paper. So the part that I was so excited about. All right, so this is the old daylight hours. Look at the new daylight hours. As we get closer to the summer, or as we get, further away from winter, the winter solstice. I'm so excited. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay. I don't enjoy seam ripping. I'll do it twice when I walk away and start fresh another day. I'm not very patient. Me neither, Laura. Me neither. I am not super patient when it comes to seam ripping. I was given an older Bernina. It sews, but it needs a new gear. I can fix that. See, there you go. And not every Bernina dealer has experience with the older machines. And that can play a role as to whether or not I would trust them. Now, the one in Montana, the Bernina dealer up there, they're the ones that I've used for beauty. And so they've seen beauty a couple of times now, and they've serviced Ricky, but they were also able to tell me they have a technician that actually used to work on those older machines, and so he could tell me without even looking at Anastasia what I was doing wrong. Yes, they are happy colors, Denise. Very much so. All right, so all of my freezer paper, my pen that I'm keeping with the project. Yes, thank you guys. My extra, so these are my little arc labels. I'm just cutting the next one off as I go. Whatever song is playing, he's saying the name, or he's singing the name Roxanne. I just know that. I don't know the rest, but I know that. All right. So my pins are going to stay in the pieces, pinning the arc numbers. It's going to stay in there until they're trimmed and they're ready to assemble. So even once they're trimmed, until they're actually ready to assemble, they're not going anywhere. All right. So let's pull the book out. All right, and my at a quarter plus ruler. This one has, if you haven't, the police. Oh, it's from the police. Okay, see, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. This is not my normal playlist, but it was something that has words, and I can handle words. So the at a quarter plus has a very thin edge. If you guys can see how thin that edge is. When you go to use the at a quarter plus ruler, this ledge is what you're putting up against your paper. This other ledge, this very thin edge, perfect for folding your paper. Instead of putting it down like this, where you have just that ledge, but you have this other edge sticking up, I flip it over. I put this frosted side, I put the frosted side down on my paper, and then it's so much easier to fold over. I don't have to balance anything. It doesn't move. It's fantastic. It's so fantastic. Okay. All right, you know what? Let me go ahead, and we're also going to pull the thread out, because I do keep this thread specifically for, this is another good song too. I don't know what the song is. I have no idea, guys. I am horrible with songs, but it has words. So I'm not hearing my neighbors, which is what I need. Okay. I'm on my way. Whatever that is. It's a rock song, I know that much. All right. Oh, I can't move my microphone that far. Okay. All right, so here's my book. I'm going to pull open. So there's two different ways that you can do this. There's a bag workbook, and in the bag workbook, it tells you exactly what order it's going to go in. I have trouble looking at that and finding my arcs from there. So I know that the way that my quilt is laid out, let Let me go back to my layout sheet too. It was just there. There we go. So this is upside down for you guys, so I apologize. So there's a printout in here that gives you the center numbers. So the one that's laying over on the table is this M1 that you guys are seeing in the bottom left, bottom right of what you're seeing. So I know I'm working on 13, 14, 19, and 20. That's kind of where I'm at. So I'm going to see there's arc 99 is in bag 13. So we've already found it, so we're going to go with it first. All right. So here's bag M13. It happened to be on top. So I'm just going to take arc 99 and put it in there. Now when I'm ready to start assembling, I will take all of this over to my AccuQuilt, or I'll set my AccuQuilt up and we'll start cutting it then. All right. So 98 and 100 are not there. Okay, 98 goes in M19, which is going to be in the same drawer. All right, there's 24. Somehow I turned one around. Oops, turned a couple around. Oh well. So all that's in this bag is the outside arc, and there's inner pieces. These peel pieces are in here, and there's 2 cornerstones, so 2 of these little stones. Because there's only one arc you assemble with this one for some reason, for the way that I've got it set up. So when I get to assembling it, you guys will get to see that too. Okay, and arc 100 is in M20, which I already have one arc in there. So there we go. So I hope this makes sense to you guys. I hope this makes sense. I hope it's not, you know, the whole clear as mud deal. I hope it's a little bit better than that. All right, that's 24, 23, 22, 21. I'm going to put them back in order. That way I don't struggle looking for them next time. 19, 18, 17, 16. I did separate these, so I've only got like 12 bags per drawer because I had 4 drawers left. But if you need to decide, you know, separate them a different way, then feel free to do that. All right, so I'm gonna pull 13 out for just a minute. I'm just gonna keep it out, and so we're gonna lay it out so you guys can kind of see how this will go. Okay, I can see. Oh, good night, Susie. Have a great night. Have a great night. All right. So here is our center. For some reason, I folded this one in half. I don't know. I'm going to press it. It doesn't need to be folded in half. They fit in these bags. They fit in the gallon-size bags. So it doesn't need it. All right, so we've got our center. Okay, so 41 and 91 go on top. Let's see, I should have 91 as well. We're going to see what I got. There's 90, 94, 92, 93. There's 41. I've already attached it. Okay, there's 91. So 41 and 91. And I do have the little squares to go in as well. So what will happen is I'll attach these 2 squares to the either side of this, and then I will sew this one curved seam there. And there's instructions in the book on how to do this, so don't ever feel like you can't figure it out. All right, this is going to be 26. Okay, and then we've got 90. Where's 90? I might have almost all of these already. So this is rows down from where that one's going to be. But you guys can already kind of see how bright and cheerful this is going to end up being. All right, 93. And, oh, let me move it up just a hair. There we go, 93 and 99. That's going to be super bright. And we're just in February. We're just in February. All right, so this other side is 92 and 94. So yes, this block is to the point where I could assemble this block. So what do you guys think? Is it too bright? I feel like it's too bright. I feel like it's a mess of bright. I feel like it's a mess of bright. Does this make you want to do one? I know that's a loaded question, but does it look a little bit more doable now that you guys have seen how all this goes together? It's definitely bright. It's definitely bright. So I don't know how well you guys can tell. My first hours of daylight is up here. And then my second hours of daylight starts here. So, hey, Jacqueline, welcome in. Jacqueline and Stitches, welcome in. Terry, that looks fantastic. Not too bright. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's gonna work. I think it's gonna work. Susan loves it. Lori likes it. Good deal, guys. So I think this will be like another, like I'll do some more of these. Like I won't do it tonight, obviously, but because I'm done, I've already pulled my thread. But hey, yes, absolutely. Hello to you, Jacqueline. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, this is going to be a very bright quilt once it's all said and done. Maybe I can get it in time. I hope it'll be a happy quilt. I feel like it should be happy because I was happy we moved to Casper in 2023. And so this is our first full year. So I feel like it should be happy. I probably am going to starch the daylights out of all of it too. I think I'm going to do that. But I'm happy with it. I think it's going to be just exactly what I was looking for. And it's going to represent that first calendar year here in Casper. So I'm happy. I'm happy about it. So what I can do is we can do a day where I assemble the whole thing. Laura says, yes, Chloe, it's gonna be happy. I know, right? It's gonna be very happy. And I'm most happy about this purple. This whole quilt is not purple, but the outside arcs, which my cutting mat is purple, so it's hard to see. My outside arcs are this mottled purple, and then all my cornerstones are a flat purple, a solid purple. So, and I am going to do applique letters on this one. I told you guys this year is the year of paper piecing and applique. So yeah, we are going to do applique letters on this quilt. So when I get to it, we are definitely going to do that. I can't believe this one is wrong. I can't believe this one is done. That's the second block done. Jacqueline says you cannot go wrong with happy. You are so very right. You are so very right about that. So I will not be able to assemble the rest of February until I get further down the line. I can't even assemble all of January until I get back up to May. I just started paper piecing as well, and I'm loving it. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. I went through all of my projects that I had for the end of 2025, and a good 2 of them, 3 if you count this one, are paper piecing. And well, I also have a ton of projects that are applique. So this is the year of paper piecing and applique, apparently. I did look at, um, uh, Lisa got her post-up aqua quilter. Um, if you guys do not follow her, she's a fantastic content creator. But I did finally get to go watch her Dear Jane. I cannot do my Dear Jane that way. I love it. She's doing a fantastic job. It's going to look gorgeous. Absolutely look gorgeous. But I cannot do my Dear Jane that way. I will absolutely scream. I do not like applique enough to do my entire Dear Jane in applique. It's a fantastic idea. It's a fantastic idea. So if you're looking for doing Dear Jane and you don't mind doing raw edge applique, Lisa has a fantastic video on how to do it. And she's not wrong. It's beautiful and you're going to get it done. It is not hard to do at all. She has simplified it so much for us. My hat is off to her. Absolute hat off to her. Oh, Nanette says, I like the way Canary Quilts did hers with EQ8. You might have to send that one to me. I have not seen that one yet. Because I do need to get my Dear Jane into the rotation. But I think it may have to wait until 27. I think that's probably what's going to happen. This year, we were hoping to move last year. I think this year it is a definite we will be moving. I do not know how much of, let me turn this down. Hotel California's playing. I would sing along with that one. The neighbors upstairs, the noise level from them, and management's inability to respond decently in a short period of time to any issues or complaints or questions or concerns. It's just getting to be too much, and my mental health will start suffering significantly if we do not have a light at the end of the tunnel. So I am definitely looking at moving this year. We're gonna hope that it can be into a house versus into another apartment. Maybe we'll get lucky enough to even get a garage. Maybe, but we need to move. We've got to move this year. So sometime in June or July, I will probably be in the process of moving, packing to move. So the likelihood that I can pick up Dear Jane this year is probably shot. I'm gonna have to be doing a lot of recording in advance to get things recorded and be able to still pack, so that we can move at a decent rate. I don't want us to be moving in one day, but we may have to. So, if we're moving to another apartment, or another rental, we'll be moving in one day. So everything will have to be packed, and then movers come, and then we're then unpacking. It's going to be a mess. Going to be an absolute mess. But we're looking at that sometime this year. And I am teaching in May, and I'm teaching again in July. So we're going to have a busy year this year. So I don't think it's wise for me to pick up Dear Jane. I thought the way Lisa was going to do it was going to be something that I wanted to do that way, and it's just not for me, which is okay. There's always ways that things just aren't going to work out for you. So it's fine. It is absolutely fine. But Dear Jane may have to wait until 27. So I've got 365 this year. We've got temperature rings that we are picking back up and making progress on. And we have got a lot of other projects on the plate that we are going to have to do. So just keep hanging out, guys. Definitely keep hanging out. So this week we've got Tuesday edition. I don't have a special project yet. I will pull one out So you guys will get to see something that maybe I've worked on before, maybe I haven't on the lives. But it will be something paper piecing or applique, probably. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what I work out. We'll see what I work on. But I will pull something out for Tuesday. Thursday is reflections. So please do not forget, Thursday will be reflections. You will want to check your emails. If I don't send it out tomorrow, it will go out Tuesday. If you have signed up for the reflections emails, those emails should go out by Tuesday because I don't want to try to send them out while I'm traveling. I will be in a meeting during the reflections launch. So while you guys are watching the video, be thinking about me and praying for me because I will be in front of somebody with Social Security and talking to them and hoping and praying for a good outcome. So just keep all of that in your thoughts and prayers for me, please. I've been fighting to get this far, and we need it. We need it. Friday night will be Fantastic Fridays with Sean. So don't be late. Don't forget about it. It's 8 p.m. Mountain Time. And then we'll be back on Sunday as well, 8 p.m. Mountain Time for After Sunset Sunday. And I might pop in Saturday, just depending on how I feel, what I'm doing. Or I may be recording again, so we'll see what happens. But guys, yes, thank you, Chloe. Absolutely, fingers are crossed. Yes, how many ever fingers you need to cross, however that works, however the superstition works, employ whatever it needs to be, because I definitely need it to work out. The one thing you guys need to do for me, I hope so too, Laura. It is great. It's going to be a fantastic week. You guys have me on Tuesday. You have me on Thursday with a recording. And then you will have me on Friday and then again on Sunday. So go pat some fabric. Go love some fabric before you go to bed tonight. Put some needle and thread to fabric. Go pat it. Go get the warm fuzzies. You need the warm fuzzies. I know I needed it. Yes, knock on wood. Absolutely. And thumbs up. Yes. Definitely give me a thumbs up for this live. I appreciate it. For all of them. For all of them. And if you are watching this on the replay, thank you so much for being part of my replay crew. I love every last one of you guys. And I appreciate every time you guys come into the chat and say, or come into the comments and say, hey, I'm just here watching the replay. That is fine. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Susan. She said prayers will work out for you. I appreciate it. I so very much appreciate it. Oh yes, fingers crossed and mini prayers. Yeah, that's what we've got to hope for. We've got to. It is necessary at this point. So go pet some fabric. Go put some needle and thread to fabric. Before you get in bed tonight, you need the warm fuzzies. You need the serotonin hit. You need the dopamine boost. No, dopamine hit, serotonin boost. Yeah, there we go. That way. And go do that before you get in bed. This is going to be a fun week. It's going to be a busy week for me. And I'm going to probably be so nervous on Tuesday night. So just keep that in mind. Send me the warm fuzzies on Tuesday night as well as the warm fuzzies that are now coming to find me underneath my table. And I will see you guys on Tuesday.